Welcome back, guys, to another video. I've just finished watching Southampton 0, West Ham 0. Guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more West Ham videos. Hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. We're very close to 2,000 subscribers. Let's talk about the game, guys, because let's be honest, there wasn't really much to talk about in terms of the way we played, in terms of, you know, just in the game in general. It was a very dull affair, being a 0-0, and both teams didn't really create many chances. But David Moyes proceeded to make 5 changes to the team that drew to Brighton. Craig Dawson comes in instead of Diop and Balbuena. He comes in for his debut. Fredericks instead of Soufal, standard rotation. Yarmolenko comes in, Lanzini and Fornals. Five changes to the team that drew to Brighton. Now, let's actually analyse this team, because on reflection now, the team in terms of defence was actually very, very solid. But like me, like many people watch this channel, many West Ham fans, we're looking at that defence and thinking, Fabianski, okay, Cresswell, a little bit dodgy at left back, but he can do a job there. Ogbon had been fantastic this season. Dawson, someone, you know, who didn't have the greatest games in the under-23 game against Peterborough, has been thrown in for his Premier League debut. Diop, who has played Premier League football, whilst I do think Diop's a little bit clumsy, it was still a very big surprise that Craig Dawson started. And then Fredericks at right back. We know what Fredericks offers. He offers pace, but when he's playing in a right wing back position, that's more of his role, playing as a right wing back, and when we're playing a 5 back. In a right back at the 4 at the back, he isn't that good. Well, I've got to say, guys, in terms of Craig Dawson today, I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He won his aerial duels, and we kept a potent Southampton attack that had the likes of Walcott, who I thought in the first half, the combination between Kyle Walker-Peters and Theo Walcott, they carved us open a couple of times on that left-hand side, where I felt like, you know, Fornals didn't really track back, but he did that a lot better in the second half. But apart from that, I can't remember Che Adams and Danny Ings getting into the game. Danny Ings did start after, you know, apparently coming back into training yesterday, which was a big surprise. And looking at this team, I was thinking, cool, you know, this is going to be a very, very difficult game. But we actually played really well defensively. Now, I don't mind the way David Moyes is trying to set up the team in terms of, you know, we're trying to soak up pressure and hit teams on the counter-attack. But guys, lately, I feel like David Moyes has been complicating it a little bit too much. And it's not, and that is from the formation to actually what goes down on the pitch. For example, let's talk about the formation. We played a 4-1-4-1, and whilst I believe our best shape in terms of defensively is the 5 at the back with more pace going forward, if you're going to sit back and invite teams to have lots of the ball, when we're in transition, when we have got the ball, we've got to have fast players. Players like Yarmolenko, Fornals, there was not enough pace. Haller up top, there was not enough pace in that team in the first half that could cause Southampton problems by getting the ball out wide or getting the ball into the channels, the right back opening up, clipping the ball down the channel. We never had that option. So, you know, that team there that was played in that first half was more of a team that you expected to have a lot of the ball. There wasn't a lot of fast players that were breaking defensive lines, that were stretching that Southampton midfield and defence. So, for me, I do feel like at the moment, David Moyes is overcomplicating in terms of the formation. Go back to what we know. Go back to the 5 at the back, put Ben Johnson left wing back, and go from there. Because that's where we need to build from. Is that 5 at the back? That's where we looked best. Yes, we were frustrating teams. We weren't getting a lot of the ball. But going forward with the pace, with Bowen, with Antonio, we had a lot of pace going forward. Yes, I know there's been injuries, Masuaku, Antonio. But I feel like we've been overcomplicating. And little things on the pitch that have been getting on my nerves lately. Why have we suddenly started taking short corners? I feel like we are starting to overcomplicate it in certain things on the pitch. Stick the ball in the box. The last minute of the game, guys, Fredericks plays a little ball into Ben Rama, who returns it. He puts the ball into Alex McCarthy's hands. Why are we not putting the ball in the box? I just feel like we're just overcomplicating. And I can't remember how many times I said overcomplicating already in this video. But in terms of the first half, we offered nothing going forward, no pace, no creativity. Whilst we have a lot of the players on the pitch that create and score goals, like Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Fornals, we didn't offer any of that. We didn't offer any of that because we were sitting too deep. We was allowing Southampton to have the ball. But when we got the ball, we offered nothing in terms of attacking transitions to try and hit Southampton on the break. And for me, Yarmolenko had a big opportunity today, because, you know, he is an impact player. For me, I feel like today's game against Southampton, Andrei Yarmolenko has 100% proved that he's just an impact player at best. Because the amount of times that this guy has come off the bench, he's scored goals, he's created goals. But when it actually comes to starting him in a 90-minute game, he just doesn't do it. He just doesn't do it. Let me know if that's too harsh, guys, in the comment section. But for me, Yarmolenko's firmly cemented himself as an impact player based off that game. Now into the second half. 60 minutes. Ben Rama comes on, which was it was very surprising because he didn't get any minutes against Brighton. We've been calling out for Ben Rama, and what happened was we had a little bit of pace in our team. We had someone who can receive the ball, turn and carry with the ball. And one of the first things he did, he receives the ball in a little bit of space. There's a defender up his arse. He turns, he nutmegs him, he plays it out wide. This is what we need to do. If you're going to have us sitting back, dropping deep, then you've got to have someone or a couple of players in that team that can affect the game in the other half. Because there's no point just sitting deep, right, and not doing anything going forward. Because, you know, we could easily concede a goal. We could have easily lost that game 1-0. We could have easily lose games 1-0 because we're sitting too deep and we're not offering anything going forward. But Ben Rama comes on the pitch. I said, he makes a player. He's looking sharp. He looks like someone who wants to prove himself. And we started to get into the game. Yarmolenko comes off for Bowen. And again, offering that little bit more pace. Now, in terms of Antonio does return for West Ham. And for me, it was probably a game I wouldn't have risked him in because he did have that hot water bottle that the Amazon Prime showed throughout the game. So probably shows there's a little bit of concern maybe, or maybe they're just trying to warm up the muscle, who knows. But he does come on. And the thing is, I do not mind playing, sitting back and soaking up possession. I don't care about possession numbers. I care about what the result is. And whilst I do want attractive football or, you know, exciting football, you can't sit back if you're not going to have any pace. And it looked like we were going to be the ones that were going to nick a winner. Whilst I don't think both teams did enough to deserve a winner, you know, we just started to look a little bit more threatening. Getting the ball out wide, we're putting some more crosses in. We've got a bit of pace with Bowen, with Ben Rama, with Antonio in the team. We look a little bit more potent. And the big chance that comes to the game was for Ben Rama. The ball comes to him in the penalty box after a flick on, I think, from Antonio or... Anyway, it comes to Ben Rama in the box. He's 4 yards out, 5 yards out. He tries and lifts it over the goalkeeper. It's a fantastic save. Should Ben Rama score? Yes. Realistically, he should score. But I'm not looking at that today because, to be honest, we didn't do enough. We didn't do enough in creating chances. And I feel like at the moment, in terms of our play, we're overcomplicating it. In terms of formation, in terms of the way we play, we're a little bit too predictable at the moment. We just seem to get the ball in the box, put it in the box. And I feel like at the moment, we are becoming a bit of a set-piece team. You've seen it every single time. Yes, we've got big players. We've got Dawson, who I thought it was absolutely fantastic. The leadership skills that he showed. You know, you saw in the last clip with Ogbonna, he was telling Ogbonna, come over. For me, he's firmly put himself in contention to start against Everton. But as I was saying, I just feel like we've become a little bit too predictable. We know we've got assets in Soucek, Ogbonna, you know, when Antonio's playing. We've got assets in the box that can score goals, but I feel like we're relying too much off set pieces and not so much off our creativity because we have got creative players in that side. When Bowen plays, when Ben Rama plays, when Lanzini plays, Fornals, we've got creative players that can do more in open play. So I want to see us be less predictable in terms of relying on set pieces because the only couple of chances that we had were from maybe headers. Soucek, he heads it into the ground. Rice has a header that goes over. You know, a set piece in the first half, it comes to Haller. He stretches for it. It goes to Alex McCarthy. The only opportunity that we created through open play was the Ben Rama. It was a fantastic save. He should have scored. But I just want to see us a little bit of variety because we have got the creative players to do more in open play. And I feel like at the moment we're becoming a little bit too predictable. And guys, that's not me being, you know, because I do understand Southampton are a good side. I'm not trying to be too critical because Southampton are a good side. They're above us in the table. If they had won today, they would have gone fourth. They still had a relatively strong team out with Vestergaard still being out injured, Danny Ings and Che Adams. It was relatively a very, very strong Southampton side. So to take a point away from home isn't a bad result at all, especially keeping a clean sheet. But I'm just becoming a little bit concerned that we're overcomplicating things in terms of, you know, taking short corners when we just put the ball in the box as usual because we score a lot of goals. You know, in terms of our actual play from open play, you know, we're becoming a little bit too predictable. Everything starts to decide. And I know David Moyes spoke about ball retention with one of the reasons why Ben Rama isn't starting. But ball retention doesn't win you games. Risky passes, being risk adverse in whatever you do, taking on a man, or doing whatever in the final third, that's risky. That's how you win football matches. You don't win football matches by keeping the ball. You don't win it, unfortunately, because we've proved that. Leicester, Wolves, they keep the ball a lot more than West Ham. We score 7 goals combined. So I want to see in the next couple of games, West Ham go back to the roots of what we've been doing, the 5 at the back, with pace, in transitions. That can, we could pose a threat that way. But guys, other than that, apart from Dawson being a well-deserved man of the match, I thought generally the back line was pretty solid. Apart from the couple occasions on Cresswell's side in the first half, I feel like we nullified Southampton's threats. We just didn't offer much going forward until Ben Rama come on in the 60th minute. So yeah, what did we learn? It was boring, predictable the first 60 minutes of the game, overcomplicating things, too slow in transitions. When Ben Rama come on, we livened up a bit. We looked a lot more threatening on the counter when Bowen, Ben Rama and Antonio were on the pitch. So that's the way forward, guys. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you feel the game went. Let me know how you think the game went. Guys, subscribe for more. Catch you next video. See you later.